Hi, this is our asynchronous art lesson for this week for fifth grade. Um, our project is called Genre Art, and we're going to be studying color harmonies. Our big idea is we, the people, we want to investigate who are we and how do we live our lives. And here is a beautiful artwork by Jay Charlemagne. It shows his life in Haiti, and he's famous for showing Haitian people in their everyday acts and lives. And he uses bright colors and patterns, and it's just really warm and welcoming. Uh, what is your average day like? Why would an artist want to paint scenes from everyday life, such as our own daily lives? That's a big question. Artists are familiar with these scenes in their everyday lives. These scenes help artists celebrate and elevate the everyday to something special. We call these genre paintings. Today, we'll be studying ways that artists paint scenes from daily life. You'll build on what you've learned about lines and shape and color. So, I want you to brainstorm, and this will go for your project. What do you do every day? What's your routine look like? What do you do when you wake up? Do you do something special every day that you enjoy? Is it something you hate? Is it a necessity? I know we're not together to brainstorm these, so I made a list for you of things that I thought a fifth grader might do. You can go ahead and read these from getting yourself ready to going to school to doing your chores. Maybe you have some type of practice like swim team or gymnastics or soccer, or maybe playing outside, eating, hanging out with your friends, playing games. All of these different things can be part of your routine or everyday life that you would make your artwork about. So, in your mind, I want you to start thinking that through the rest of the presentation. What would I illustrate as a scene from my everyday life? Something that's average that I can elevate to something special. So, and that's what artists did from genre paintings. This is by Camille Pissarro, and it was made in 1882. It shows two people at a well. You're like, Miss Knight, people don't go to wells every day. Well, 130 years ago, they did go to wells every day. That's where they got their water. They didn't have running water in their houses. So this was a boring, everyday chore. Go get water for the house from the well. And this artist highlighted ordinary people engaged in common activities and made it a very beautiful painting. It shows the two figures in a pose. There's a background, lots of nice colors. It's really nice painting. I want you to think about what colors you see in this artwork. The first thing that stands out to me is there's lots of green and brown and blue. The green from the like trees and bushes, the brown from the houses and the well, and then the two people's clothing. Let's look at the next picture. This is another one by Charlemagne. What does this picture show? Well, it shows people playing kites or flying kites, and that's the title of it, Boys Flying Kites. They're in Haiti. Haiti is an island in the Caribbean, and there's lots of wind there. They're called trade winds. So people really fly kites a lot there. So this might be a daily activity for them, kind of a fun activity compared to the well people in the last one. But what do you notice in this picture about colors? There's a really wide range of primary and secondary colors. Primary colors are red, yellow, and blue, and secondary are purple, green, and orange. So we kind of, went back over primary colors. They're the basis of the color wheel. You can't mix them. You have to find them in nature, red, yellow, and blue. When you mix two primary colors together, you get a secondary color like orange, violet, and green. And then intermediate colors are when you mix a primary and a secondary together. And we covered that this week in our live instruction if you haven't had it yet. Now we're going to move on to complementary colors. The best example of complementary colors are Christmas colors, red and green. They don't really match, but they look good together. Complementary colors are opposite each other on the color wheel. Each color makes the one opposite stand out. So here's the color wheel, and if we look at green right here, opposite of it is red. And together, they make each other stand out. That's maybe why candy cane is so popular. You know, the red and the green together are the Christmas colors. Also, yellow and purple are complementary, green, blue and orange. And you can see how they're across from each other on the color wheel. Also, this little swatch down here, C, has pairs of complementary colors, blue and yellow, orange and blue, red or orange and like a different shade of orange, red and green. And if you notice, a lot of these colors are sports teams colors. People use these for logos and for different, advertisements like McDonald's. If they use complementary colors for theirs, ads and logos. So keep that in mind. The complementary colors pop out and they kind of complement each other. That's why they're called complementary colors. Do you see combinations of complementary colors here? And if we look at how the purple and green of the roofs, and then in the kites, there's complementary colors. There's lots of complementary colors all over this artwork, and that might be why it pops out so much to us. All right, here's our art assignment. This art assignment calls for painting. It's your choice if you paint or not. I think watercolor paints would be really appropriate, but you could use any paints you want at your house. I want you to create a genre artwork or painting about an everyday event using pairs of complementary colors. Create a composition using related lines and shapes. Write down pairs of complementary colors you can use in your picture and combine hues with complements in a wide range of values. That's a lot of information right there. Let me break it down a little bit more for you. So your materials you're going to need are a pencil, eraser, sketchbook, color medium, or paint. Choose an everyday scene from your life and draw it out. Think about creating your image with lines, shapes, and build upon the lessons we've learned this school year. So you should have a scene from your everyday life, and there should be a person in it or two because you're doing it. Like if you're brushing your teeth, it would show you brushing your teeth. After you've drawn it, I want you to color it and try to use pairs of complementary colors in your artwork. So if you have clothes on, maybe you'll have an orange and blue striped shirt on, or maybe you have green grass and a purplish sky. Something like that might look interesting. You may paint your artwork if you have paints. I would personally trace it with a black marker and then paint it with watercolors. Or if you don't have those, you may use markers, crayons, or colored pencils to meet studio criteria. This is what I'm going to be looking for in your artwork. Painting shows a scene from daily life. Painting incorporates the use of complementary colors. The composition includes related lines and shapes. All right, good luck, guys. Can't wait to see your work. Upload it to Schoology when you're finished.